Everyone, it's Sal Jade. Thank you so much for joining me all today. I am so excited to be coming here live with you and sharing this free psychic seminar with you that is going to help you improve your psychic gifts and abilities and hopefully answer some questions that you might have had about your psychic challenges and things that you may feel you get blocked on, and answer some very popular questions that have come up in the Facebook group and in the Udemy Q&A board this month. So for those who haven't been on one of these psychic seminars that I do every second month in this group before, what I like to do is just share these really popular questions that have been asked this month. And hey Roman, and then if you have any questions for me about your course or how to improve your psychic gifts, that you just pop them in the chat box and I will answer them for you as I get towards the end. And if you are watching this on the replay, that means you're going to be watching this on YouTube. Do hit subscribe so then you don't have to keep tagging yourself every month when I do these, because they'll automatically pop up in your notification. And you can also get full access to my back catalogue. So I've been running these seminars now for about 3 years, I think. So you get full access to all of them by hitting subscribe. And you can even just go into the descriptions of each seminar and see what topics are in and what I've been talking about, so that you don't have to waste your time and watch a whole seminar and think, well, I didn't really want to learn any of that anyway. So what we're going to do today, and again, if you're popping in to say hi and where you're from, and I love to chat and connect with you a bit more. So today, what we're going to be talking about is I'm going to explore the topic of authenticity in crystals. So how do you know if your crystals are authentic and how to spot fakes, basically? And this is connected to your tools course. So in this course, there is a whole subject on tools and on chakras and oracle cards and crystals. So it's connected to that. Hello, Mary from Pennsylvania, USA. Lovely to see you. And then we're going to be moving on to look at the subject of whether or not you can be a professional psychic reader without the tarot. So just using oracle cards. So I'm going to share my best tips for that. So if you're someone who's not into the tarot, you just want to be a professional but you don't want to use tarot cards, I'm going to share some additional tips for that as well. And I'm going to be talking about will any oracle cards do? So say you've got some oracle cards and you want to practice, but they're not ones that I teach in my course. So just some extra tips on that. We're going to be talking about what happens if you do the guardian angel meditation and you see someone different each time, because a lot of people like to go back and do it again and again, and what this could possibly mean. And also, how do you use the free readings for in the best way in this group, like whether or not you use them through, like how to give them, like Zoom calls, or giving them through Messenger, like what kind of works best. And I'm going to share with you how you can also get 5-star reviews and testimonials on your Facebook page if that's something you're interested in doing, and improving your social media like. And I'm also going to share with you how you can best progress in your journey, like once you finish this course, like what the best course is to do next. So I hope that's going to help lots of people, lots of fun stuff in there. And as I said, if you've got questions, pop them in as I go, and I'm not ignoring you. It's just that I'll get to the end and I'll deal with them. Otherwise it'll be like, sometimes I can go off on a tangent and forget about the original topics I was going to discuss. So before I begin, I would just like to say a really big heartfelt thank you to everyone who has taken the time to review How to Be Psychic or any of my courses this month. So if you've taken the time to post a star review and add a few comments, that really helps other students, but it also helps me be able to keep making content for you and keep being able to sell my courses on Udemy. So thank you so much for Inga Gislaturi, Richard Lieberman, Maxine Darby, Daniel Engelhardt and Elise Lindo for your gorgeous and very kind reviews this month. I really, really appreciate it. And again, thank you to anyone who has also posted reviews. It really does help in this journey for me being able to support you more as well. So let's get started with the first question, and that is how, and it's a great question, especially with the increase, sadly, in online scamming these days, and that is can I check if a crystal is authentic? Now, because so many people are now buying their crystals online, but even sometimes if you might go into like a market or a flea market, like a special thing like that, and you might think, oh, is this real, and how do I know? So I'm going to give you a few additional tips about how you can check an authenticity of a crystal. So the first thing that is usually a bit of a dead giveaway is the colour. So colours in crystals are generally very gentle. If you see something that kind of looks like a really bright splashing colour, like say something that's maybe this colour, for example, of my shirt, like that would probably be something that might tend to be painted or not as realistic. It's not there are crystals that are very dark, and in fact, if you look at something like rhodochrosite or even rhodonite, there are shades of colours like this in that. Sorry, I wasn't meant this to be a fashion show or anything, but in crystals there will be definite shades and there'll be variations in colour, but it's very rare that a crystal will have all the entire same colour. So I'm going to give you an example with this beautiful angelite, and I hope you guys can see that. So you can it's blue lace agate. Wrong crystal. Blue lace agate. So as you can see, it's actually got very different gradients in that. You can see there's bits of white and there's bits of it. It's almost like little waves that are going through it. And so there is a very deep kind of blue on one side of it, but there are actual different gradients that go through the whole thing. And there's even actually a little bit of brown cracking in there, which people might freak out about and think, oh no, it's a broken crystal. But it's actually a sign that it really has come from the earth. And I'll show you as well with my black tourmaline, which is a lot more obvious. You can see there is this beautiful kind of almost light pink that's going through it, as well as the actual dark black tourmaline too. So when you see variations of colour like that, especially if the colour is quite close to what the colour is itself, then you can usually tell that it's authentic. If the whole crystal is all one colour, again, like my shirt, then it might be something that's been painted and a fraudulent kind of crystal, not a real one. So I hope that's one way you can tell. Air bubbles are another way you can tell. So crystals are not meant to have air bubbles. That's not because they come from the earth. But anything that's been blown up like glass will obviously have air bubbles. So if it's got air bubbles in it, then it's likely to be not an authentic crystal. And the third way is actually price. And I know that sounds strange, but if you're comparing prices and you're doing a bit of a shop around and you can see things that are really uber cheap, then it is likely that they are going to be fake, especially if they don't pass those other two tests that I just mentioned then. It is a case with crystals for, there are bargains to be found, of course, but it is often a case of you get what you pay for. So it seems, and just to give you an idea, having worked in a crystal shop, like the markup on a crystal, so say a crystal is $10 in a shop, so the markup on crystals is what's called about roughly 2/3. So that means the owner of the shop will probably be getting around about $6.50, $7 for that crystal. Now, if as I said, so if the crystal is like a really big, beautiful, gorgeous crystal and it's like, $4, then just, again, you might be thinking, well, this might be too good to be true because the owner of this shop is only going to be making, $2 from this. Like, do I really feel like that's going to be realistic? So just, give it a bit of a price test feel. Look online and see what other people are charging. And if it does seem way cheaper, then it might be not a genuine. Hello, Archie. Nice to see you. It might not be a genuine crystal. And as always, whenever you are buying online, just read the reviews. Like, read really clearly. Don't just kind of skim and see that it's all got 5 stars. Like, read it and say, like, is this something a genuine person would write? And look, if you are in the US, I do know my high recommendation always goes to the wonderful Debbie Hardy, who also sells great crystal courses on Udemy, and she's a long-time member of this group. She is my go-to crystal girl on so many things. So definitely, I know hers are definitely authentic as well. So that's another, you can look up her store or you can look up her on Facebook and on Udemy, and she is fantastic as well. So I hope that's helped with anyone who has been seeing crystals and a bit nervous about purchasing them at a high price if you feel like they may not be real. Now, the second question I wanted to explore is this. It's a great question, and I actually can't believe I haven't been asked it I don't even know if I've ever been asked it in this group. Yes, I take questions at the end, Archie. Mary, you love Debbie. Yes, she is amazing. I love her so much. Her crystal courses are gorgeous. So what happens if you want to really be a professional psychic reader and you want to set yourself up in a psychic reading business, but you don't want to do tarot. Like, you just want to do oracle cards. Like, can you get by? Can you survive? Now, my answer is absolutely 100% yes. However, there's a bit of a however tacked onto that. Keep in mind that oracle cards can be quite limited. Like, for those of you who know me, know that I also run a tarot card success course on Udemy, and I have a Facebook group that's separate to this one that has over 9,000 people in it that practices tarot readings. And it's a 10-hour course. Like, in your course, I teach you how to do oracle cards in like maybe an hour and a half or something, but in that it's 10 hours. Like, tarot is a lot more complex. And so readings can be longer, and therefore they tend to be a little bit more, I guess you would say, popular. With oracle cards, because they can be a little bit more, I'm not going to say simplistic, that's the wrong word, but they do require you, if you want more information, to go in on a psychic level and maybe channel through some more information, either from your spirits or your guides or your intuition. And so you can definitely just be an oracle card reader, but you would definitely need to work on strengthening your clairvoyance or your clairaudience and those psychic gifts. So doing some of the exercises from this course, and also the Psychic Readings Intermediate Level course that follows this one, where I go into how you can really strengthen those visualization skills and get lots more messages and lots more connection with your spirit guides. So yes, you can, but as I said, you do need to be focusing on really enhancing some of those skills, like psychic mediumship, the clairvoyance, like connecting more with your angels or guides or goddesses and gods, or whoever you like to connect with to get spiritual information. You need to focus on that a lot more if you're only using oracle cards. And people will also expect that, like, just using oracle cards and saying, okay, today Archangel Michael wants you to remember who you are, or, you know, like just like a one-line answer, that's not going to give people enough for getting the information they're probably looking for. Or also, I was just going to say, if you're a healer, like if you're a Reiki practitioner, or you're a pranic healer or a theta healer, or you're doing some other kind of Bowen therapy or something, then yes, you can definitely just add the oracle cards in for a different psychic dimension or a clairvoyant healing dimension. So yeah, you can do that as well. But if you plan on doing like a 1-hour reading with someone and you're just going to use oracle cards, you will need to tap into some of those deeper skills, higher level skills that are taught in this course and some of the courses that follow this as well. So I hope that helps as well. So just, yeah, if you could all save your question to the end, that would be wonderful. So I hope that's helped with that one. And if you've been thinking, I'm not really into tarot, I don't really want to do it, but I love oracle cards, how can I be a professional? You can do healing courses as well and add it in, or practice on strengthening those clairvoyance and that clairaudience and things like practice a lot connecting to that guided meditation, like the one I've got in here. And please, I mean, people often forget this, and remember, this is what you've paid for, is the reading on someone else guardian angel thing. Like, that is how I learned to read on people. Like, and I love to see more and more and more in this group. I'd love to see people saying, hey, who would like to practice that exercise and practice on each other? Because that's how I got really good at channeling information without using the tarot at all. Like, just using that information and then a few oracle card decks, and that's how I could build a 1-hour session. And even then, when I went into the healing part, the clairvoyant healing part, a 90-minute session, and that's how I pretty much built my whole career. So definitely look at practicing that lecture. You've already paid for it. It's in your course. Go in and find a buddy to practice up and do that with. It even has the PDF that you can print out and learn off by heart at first, or you can just read it out and try it that way as well. So yeah, definitely look at those, enhancing those clairvoyant gifts and connecting with your angels, so your spirit guides. If you're not into angels, then your deities or who you like to work with. So I hope that has helped. So I'll kind of go into that one a bit more and talk about, Herilika talks about, will any oracle cards work? like with this course or any of my courses. And look, absolutely, like my courses aren't designed where I will teach you the meaning of every single oracle card the way I do with Tarot Card Success, where I teach you every single tarot card. I teach you the basic fundamentals in this course about how to connect more and how to get deeper sort of understanding of any oracle card deck. And I just use common themes that you will be asked. And then in the higher level courses, like the love readings course and the career readings course and the health readings course, I go into how to focus on particular oracle cards that will help you with your life purpose, or particular oracle cards that will help you with your career. And, you know, like the strong, going in more advanced levels and on that level. So any oracle card deck will do. But as always, I do have 2 lectures in this course where you can go in and just see the ones that I recommend that are great for beginners. And as you do my intermediate level ones, you can see what I use in those as well. Like any lecture where I talk about, like any course that I have where I'm introducing oracle card decks or tarot, I will have a free preview of the course where you can actually see like what cards I recommend specifically. So what cards I recommend for high-end love readings, career readings. You don't even have to buy the whole course if you're just wanting to get a bit of a feeler before you think about going more advanced. So any deck will do, but as I said, and please don't ever feel like you have to buy every deck. Like I never want you to feel like that. Like find a couple of decks that you resonate with and practice. But between all of my courses, there's probably about 15 decks in there. So you should find plenty that you can play with yourself. So I hope that has helped. And look, what I do with mine, as I said, for me, it's all about touching it and feeling the card and seeing what other messages coming through, like, and practicing those exercises that are in this course and those practical activities, because that is how you can build those beautiful oracle card readings, no matter what card you've got. So I can, you know, because I have done that for many years, I can just rip open an oracle card deck, a brand new one, and just be like, oh, what does this mean? And just kind of tune into the energy of the card and get more of that information as well as the basic kind of, if it says something like, you know, step into your power, I can connect that on a deeper level. And that's what you'll get when you're practicing with this course and with some of the higher courses that you might enroll in. So I hope that has helped. Now, Abhishek says, every time that I do the guardian angel meditation or the spirit guide meditation, I get a different guardian. Is this okay? Look, absolutely, 100%, yes. And I love that. I mean, I strongly encourage you, please don't think that the meditation in this course to meet your guardian angel is just to meet an angel or just to meet a spirit guide. Like, it is something that you will go in and do, like, that's for life kind of thing. You will go in there and you can do that again and again and again, and someone different or new will come in. And that's because our guides and our angels and even the deities or anyone who's working with us, they can come in for 5 minutes, or they can be with us for a lifetime. So when I do readings, for example, that's how it works for me. Sometimes I'll see someone and the client will say, oh yeah, people have seen that guide on me before. Or sometimes I'll be like, oh, no one's ever seen that one before. And, you know, because they come in and out, they come in depending on what it is that we need. So if in the example of Abhishek was talking about, they did the meditation and got someone totally different, that's exactly who they need at that time. Whether it be Merlin, whether it be Ganesha, whether it be Kali, whether it be Archangel Michael, like it's whoever comes in at that time is who is meant to be with you. And so people get confused because they think, well, shouldn't it be my permanent forever guardian angel? Sometimes no, because sometimes you so desperately need the help of another guide who's maybe higher up in the realms on the planes of existence, that someone else will come in and step in and say, hey, this is what I want to share with you today, and this is what I want to give you, and I'm with you right now. So I hope that's helped for anyone who's been a bit confused about the guardian meditation or feels that I got someone and I wasn't expecting it. I get a lot of people, interestingly enough, a lot of my beautiful Hindu students here will often see Jesus, even though they're not Christian and it's not their thing, but sometimes Jesus will come through. Now, that doesn't mean you're a Christian. It doesn't mean you have to convert. Jesus to me is like Lord Buddha. He's just an ascended master who came in and helped, and I don't want to offend anyone who is a hardcore Christian here, but for me, that's how I've always worked with him, that he will come in and help with unconditional love and forgiveness and compassion. And that's his role on earth. And that's the thing I love about Jesus, is his ability to do that. And they're the parts of Christianity that I love, just like there are parts of Buddhism that I love and parts of Hinduism that I love. There's parts of the Quran that I love. There is all that. There's so much to offer us in religion, and so much beauty and so much spiritual growth. And so for me, I say whoever comes in is who you need to be working with, and just it doesn't mean you have to change religions or give up your faith or believe in something radically different. Just be with whatever works with your spiritual journey and your beautiful heart. And if you only connect with like gods and goddesses, then only connect with them. There's no right or wrong for me when it comes to your spiritual journey. So I hope that's helped as well. Now, Amy asked a little while ago, how do people provide readings in this group? So in Facebook groups, or like when you're giving away free readings to practice or to get exchange for another reading. And look, it's totally up to you. I really do prefer people to put their, personally, I'm not saying you should, I'm just saying I prefer you to put your email and people communicate by email. And people know my feelings about this. I find Facebook Messenger incredibly challenging to communicate, and I feel like it's a bit less personalised personally, and I lose messages all the time, and I have to, and one of the reasons that my beautiful assistant Kathy has to, like why I can't answer anyone's questions on Facebook is because I get hundreds of notifications and messages every week, and she has to filter through and say, okay, who are her Udemy courses, who are people who are just randoms and want to get free readings, and which I don't do, and who are people, and that kind of thing. And that's what, it can be so chaotic in Messenger. So you can have your mum coming in, and then you can have your friend from high school coming in, and then you can have someone who's coming in and you're trying to build your business with them. So that's why I tend to do nothing on there except reply to my mum, because if I didn't, she'd get angry. So my sisters, other than that, I'm not answering anything. And so basically I think putting your email down and just emailing each other is a great way to do a reading. But again, you can do it you can connect with that way and do it on Zoom. You can do a recording if you feel like, because writing it out does take a lot of time. You can just do a little Facebook recording message. There's so many different ways. Try a few ways and see what suits you. There's no right or wrong for me with that one. Now, and so those of you who might have missed this at the, when was it? At the end of, sorry, if some of you are wondering why I'm talking a bit strange, I had a whole lot of jaw and dental work done in the last 2 months. Some of you might know I've had quite a few surgeries, so I'm still getting used to it, and so I might be talking a bit strange for a few while. You might think that I'm starting to sound a bit like, who is it? Is it Elmer Fudd? I don't know, one of those cartoon characters. So yes, that's if you're wondering why my voice sounds a bit strange. So I did a masterclass. When did I do it? I released it in January, and it was designed to help people who wanted to get 5-star reviews and testimonials and wanted to do likes and get more likes for their social media. And I did it for this group and for Tarot Card Success Group because what was happening was that people were posting in here and trying to get Facebook reviews in exchange for free readings. And I basically had to stop that because it was just leading to too much confusion, and people weren't understanding what it means to give someone a review or how to get a 5-star review. And some people were taking advantage of it, like where they would just go, yeah, I'll give you a review, and then just disappearing into the ether. Or they were basically, a reader would do, pull 2 cards and then get really angry if the person said, look, I can't give you a 5-star review for a 1-line reading, basically. So that kind of was happening, and I decided it was better for us to not do that anymore. It wasn't working. It was causing a lot of conflict. But I did want to give you guys an opportunity to learn about how to get those 5-star reviews and how to get great testimonials for your website, and how also to make sure that you're not, like for me, I think it's a really poor return on your time investment to give away a free reading in exchange for a social media subscription or a like. Like that to me is, you could spend half an hour with someone and then one person likes you, and then the next week they could go away and unlike you. So, that's not building quality audience for me. I think there's much better ways to do it. So I created a masterclass that will help you do that. So Those of you who know, I do have like a VIP psychic business program that is on the Psychic Healing Academy. It's my advanced tarot, it's an intuitive advanced tarot program with psychic business mentoring that comes directly from me. And that is on my Psychic Healing Academy. You can find out more about that by reaching out to sal@saljade.com. But for those of you who, you're not ready financially to be in a bigger program like that, I just created a free little quick mini masterclass that goes for about an hour. And so I'll pop the link to that in this description. It's just on my www.saljade.com/Facebook study groups. And in that, I will teach you everything that I feel you need to get great 5-star reviews, like what a 5-star reading looks like, how you can get it, why sometimes people don't return reviews, and and how not to take it personally, and how to and just much better ways to drive traffic to your social media than giving away a whole free reading just for one person to like you on Instagram. So just much more ways that I find are effective and will give you better return on your beautiful precious time. So if you want to know more about that, just go to www.saljade.com/Facebook study groups and scroll down and you'll see the how to get 5-star reviews masterclass. It's a free masterclass. It goes for about an hour. It's not like a webinar where it's ever going to run out, so you can watch it at your own pace. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can find it in the description as well. So I hope that has helped. Now, before I get to everyone's wonderful questions today, and if you've got any, please pop them in here. I just want to share with you, because people often ask, okay, what course should I do next? Like, what do I do when I finish How to Be Psychic? I love the content. I feel like I'm just opening up. Where do I go from here? So there is no right or wrong. My courses have been created over the past 8 years on Udemy. Yes, in a sequence, but it wasn't a deliberate sequence. So You're Beautiful, this course that you're in here, How to Be Psychic, was my first original course. And on that note, next month, I'm going to be 8 years since I released it, and I'm going to have a massive, beautiful party in here and have a competition where I'm giving away free courses. So keep an eye out for that to celebrate. But yeah, so that course was created, and then I created my past life therapy course. I think that was next, and then there was my tarot card course. I think that was next. I think that was the order. But it was never meant to be like you have to do it in this order. For me, it's more about what your needs and wants are. So if, for example, you've done this course and you're interested in tarot, then you can go and do Tarot Card Success and work through that course. Or if you are interested in just focusing for now on oracle card readings and strengthening your clairvoyance on a much higher level, then you can go into Psychic Readings Intermediate level, which follows this. And then you can also do the Love Readings course, the Career Readings and Life Purpose course, and the Health Readings course. They all contain both tarot and oracle cards as well. And then you can maybe think, hey, maybe I do want to learn tarot, and go in and do the tarot. If you've got blocks, and you're like, oh my goodness, I've tried the Guardian Angel meditation, or I want to be a professional psychic, but I'm worried what my friends and family are going to think, or I'm not getting any messages when I use the oracle cards, then I do have 2 courses that deal with blocks, so you might want to just go on straight into one of them. One is about past life therapy and being a psychic and a healer in a past life, and going into the Akashic records and clearing anything that may be preventing you from trusting your gifts or being able to be a professional in this lifetime. And the other one is just a very beautiful basic how to clear common blocks like fears that you're going to get it wrong, or fear of being judged, and that's my Boost Your Psychic Gifts with EFT tapping course. And I have a couple of courses around business as well. So if you're feeling like you want to do money readings for people, or you want to learn more about how to look after your money as a psychic and a healer, or manifest more clients to your business, then I have those courses as well, which are Build Your Spiritual Business on a Budget, and also Manifesting Abundance for healers and psychics. So no right or wrong, and you have lifetime access to them. So just do what feels right for you. Like, you might try a bit and go, oh, actually, I really would keen to learn about love readings, and jump onto the love readings course. So that's fine too. So I hope that has helped everyone. So I am releasing a new course next month. I'm very excited. It has been 18 months, and partly that's because of surgeries and border closures and a whole lot of other things that were sort of going on. So I'm excited I'm keeping mum about it now, but it is going to be something that's going to be involved with intuition, and it will be, opening up the intuition on other levels, and it's going to be also connected with the tarot. So I won't talk about it too much, but I will talk about it when it gets released next month. So I'm looking forward to that. It's just a small class. It's not a big epic one. It's only going to go for a few hours, but it's just some different strategies based on some former webinars and masterclasses that I've done in the past that people have told me they would love to see a bit more of. So yeah, keep an eye out for that getting released next month. And I'll be running competitions as well to win free ones as well. So just let's answer some questions here. Now, Archie, that's a great question. Does tarot not need the clairs? Now, look, again, tarot, you can do a tarot reading completely straight on its own without going in and connecting and being psychic. You don't need that at all. However, I will just add that it makes it easier. It's just something that for me, it's like you don't need it, but it makes it easier, you know, I guess. And sometimes you might get stuck and you might be like, oh my goodness, I don't know what this means. Or you might be tired, or you might have a difficult, challenging client. And so having clairvoyant abilities makes your tarot readings, I guess, you know, they'll go deeper, but you'll also be able to, if you're getting a blank or if a card just doesn't make sense, if you look at this card and go, I don't know what that means, that tarot card, what is it? Doesn't mean, I don't understand. Clairvoyance helps that because you get more messages. So that's all. Like, so if you're looking at doing big, massive, long readings, then yes, enhancing your clairvoyance is very helpful. However, you don't have to have it. You don't at all. I know lots of people that just do what I call straight tarot readings, no channeling, nothing else. They just do that. And I often do find the tarot does open up a portal to your intuition naturally the more you learn it and practice it anyway. So they can kind of go hand in hand. There are more than one meaning for each card with oracle cards. Yes, definitely. And, you know, depending on the topic, so business, relationships, but each card has specific meanings where the oracle are up to interpretation. Oh, sorry, yeah, difference between tarot and oracle. Yes. So example, the Empress in the tarot can mean fertility, and it can also mean that you're starting a new creative project or you're working from home. Whereas oracle cards, they're very different. They're often very individually what you feel. So you might read what the author of has said, but you're like, hey, I kind of feel that this means something else as well. And so yeah, there's different interpretations, whereas the tarot is very kind of structured and tends to kind of mean the same thing. Bits of tweaks on the variations, but tends to kind of mean the same thing. Actually, people, especially close friends and family, are always curious and ask me to prove these abilities exist through scientific proof. How do we deal with this situation, especially since these people cannot be avoided as such? That's a great question. Can I just say they can be avoided? Like, you don't have to, you can still, like, I have a lot of very skeptical friends and a lot of very skeptical family members, and I just don't talk about it with them. Like, you don't have to. There's no law that says I have to prove myself to my friends and family. And that's for anything. And look, artists go through this. Like, if someone wants to be a Steven Spielberg worthy director, they go through these kinds of challenges with their family and friends. You know, authors who want to write go through this. Entrepreneurs go through this. Like, inventors go through this. Please don't feel like there is a law that says you have to prove this to me with scientific proof, because I don't, like, my brother-in-law is the hilariously biggest skeptic. And I can remember once we were on holiday for my beautiful cousin Julie. It was her wedding in Perth, and we all went over there, and my sister and my brother-in-law and my mum and I were all sharing an apartment, and my brother-in-law was sitting there watching this thing on the television where a medium was like communicating with the deceased people, and he got one thing wrong. And my brother-in-law kind of heckles me from the bedroom, and I thought, you know, the house was on fire or something, and I came running in, and he's like, look, Sal, look, see, you can tell they're frauds, it's all not. And I went, well, okay, so they got one thing wrong. Did they get anything else right? Well, yeah, but they got, and I said, I don't care. You know, I don't have to prove it to you. I don't care if you believe it or not. You know, blah, blah, blah. I just kind of went, okay, for you, it doesn't work for you. That's totally fine. And yes, there are people that are frauds. And yes, there are people and yes, sometimes readings don't work out. It's not 100% exact science. And if you're not okay with that, that's okay. I respect your ability to, and your right to disagree. But constantly proving will just exhaust you. And I, you know, and you might know, actually, I'm not sure which of my courses you're in, but I do have some of my courses. I think it's the Master Health one and the Psychic Readings Intermediate Level one, where I will often teach you how to keep those kind of people away as clients. Like, you know, put big energy radars around yourself and shields so that they just don't become your client. But with your friends and family, that is actually your own spiritual journey. And I think it's very powerful. I don't think it's something to be shirked. I don't think it's something to be angry or frustrated or confused about. I mean, confusion's understandable, but just go, this is my spiritual journey here on earth, is to not take on board everything my friends and family say, and to learn to live without their judgment. If they're going to judge you, that is their choice. Choose what you want to do with your life, whether it's to be an athlete, whether it's to be a psychic, whether it's to be an artist, whether it's to paint potatoes and stick them on a veranda and call it art. Like, it's no one else's business what you choose as your soul purpose and life purpose that you've reincarnated into this world to do, as far as I'm concerned. So I would just work on that. I think you've asked me this before in my Boost Your Psychic Gifts with EFT tapping. Keep tapping. That's the kind of stuff I love tapping for, because you go in, even though I feel like I have to justify my existence here on earth to the people I love, or they're not going to love me, or they're not going to believe in me. Like, we have to learn to live without other people's approval. And I know that culturally that can be easy for me to say, because I don't live in that kind of culture where you can be shamed and held out of town as much by your friends and family. But it is something that I do believe we've all been incarnated to transcend. So keep working on it, keep journaling on it, and just tell them with love. And ask your guides to help protect you from that. Like, I'm a big fan. I remember years ago, I have a very dear friend who's now a federal member of parliament in Australia. And I remember he used to talk to me years and years ago about how he had been part of the first Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote Rich Man, Poor Man, group of motivational conferences that a lot of the corporate world, he used to be a stockbroker, and a lot of the corporate world used to do, and they had this activity, and it was like about where people would all stand in their own groups, and you all had a little teams, and you would literally, it sounds horrendous, but it kind of is about how life is in a way and how to deal with it, where someone would come up and attack you for your view on something or how you were doing something, and you would have to divert them. So you would have to, basically send them off somewhere else. And that's kind of how I feel, like a bunch of rats scurrying. I'm not saying that your friends and family are rats by any means, but that's how I kind of feel like is a great way to deal with it. When people start asking me questions and they're kind of putting me on the spotlight and they want me to prove myself and justify my existence here on earth and my career and my life path, I just put it back on them. I'm like, oh, so how many kids do you have? And, oh, wow, that's a nice shirt. Or, da-da-da. And so how about you? How have you been going? And people love to talk about themselves. Like, they do love to judge others, don't get me wrong. But if you can get it back onto them and focusing on them and what's important to them, then that just steers the conversation away. And I don't mean like defending yourself, just move the topic way away and ask your guides and angels to make it invisible to them so that they're not even in your radar about it. So I hope that helps, Archie, and anyone else who is really struggling with feeling like you have to prove who you are or what you're doing or what you choose to study or what you choose to be as a professional. I hope that helps. Oh, thank you. I know, I'm looking forward to the new course too. It's been a long time in the making. I hope, thank you, Archie. Great advice, thank you. Now, has anyone else got anything else they would like to ask me today before I log off? If there's anything else, if you're joining me on YouTube, you can pop things there as well. Or actually, if you're one of my Udemy clients, or students, I should say, the best way to always get in contact with me is to just post a question on your Udemy Q&A board. I'm always going to be getting back to you within 48 hours, unless I'm away on leave, or it's Christmas, that's usually the best way to get back to me, or you can just pop them here now as well. Now, keep in mind, sometimes like tagging me in this group or on YouTube, it just takes longer for me to get back to you. So another way, if you've got a more personal question that you want to ask me, just go to www.saljade.com and click on Contact Me. That's how you can get in touch with me and I can answer you personally. Okay, I hope that's helped everyone. And any other questions, just pop them here. And if you are watching this on the replay, then again, remember to subscribe and you will always get my monthly, you'll get access to my monthly seminars, and also you get access to my monthly tarot ones as well, because I do upload those monthly tarot ones that I do every month in Tarot Card Success. If you're a little bit curious about the tarot as well, you're not sure if you want to enroll in a course, but you want to know a little bit more about it, then you can also access them there as well. So thanks everybody, and I look forward to seeing you next month for the 8-year celebration party to celebrate 8 years of How to Be Psychic. And thank you so much to everyone who has been part of the How to Be Psychic psychic journey. There are some people in this group that have been here for many, many years, and so I hope you'll be able to come too, and I look forward to seeing everyone, and I hope everyone has a beautiful weekend. Oh, before I go, goodness, I can't believe I forgot to mention this. Before I go, I don't know if you guys are aware, but we've got all this astrological. I like to talk about astrology a little bit in this course more than any of my others. It's not an astrology course, but I get very excited sometimes by the retrograde Mercury stuff and by the solar flares and the eclipses. We have got eclipses coming this week. We have got... so if you're someone who's been, I talk about this also a lot on my Sal Jade Clairvoyant Healer Facebook page. Like Elizabeth Peru is my go-to person on astrology, by the way. Like the kind of eclipses and what's going on and what it means. So she was talking this week about how, like, what's happening, like maybe if you've been dreaming a lot about your exes or people from the past coming back into your life, that we're ending cycles that begun in 2004 right now. That's what's going on with all these eclipses and the planetary alignments, and we're about to go into another retrograde Mercury for the year. So just keep that in mind if you're someone, and I was dreaming about two of my exes and one I haven't thought about for years, like decades, years. And, you know, if that's happening, it's think about when these dreams come about, okay, what did that person teach me? What did I learn? If I could go back in time when I was with that person, what would I do differently? Without blame or judgment of them or you, and just think, because that's how we're completing our cycles right now. So think about anything that happened to you in 2004 and where you were at in 2004, because there's a cycle that got started then. It might be just one tiny cycle or a big epic cycle that is basically coming to a different form of completion and ascending to another level now. So that's kind of exciting. So I think that's about 18 years ago. Those of you who are going, I don't know what was happening in 2004. Can't you? 18 years ago. Okay, so I hope that has helped everyone, and everyone has an amazing weekend. And thank you so much for joining me. Bye.